Let me turn this over to our special guest today, Mayor Donald Peloquin of Blue Island.
I actually came prepared today with a speech, but we're not going to use it anyway. So. First of all, I want to thank the Salvation Army, Jeannie and Josh, for not only letting us be here today, but for this facility that's here. Because it does more than, you see the brick and mortar, and if you get to see the building, you'll see how much they've added to the community and what it offers. But the services they offer here and the ability that they bring for what the cross-generation training between the seniors, the young kids, computer people that are literate, the non-computer literate people, to the athletic facilities, and just the whole lot concept of bringing people together of such a diverse society and of a diverse town and making them meld together and become a community again. So to the Salvation Army, thank you. Appreciate it very much. This facility and what it means is kind of touches on the base of what I'd like to talk about today. And when I got up this morning, I was telling my wife I have to give this speech. She says, well, don't be all rosy, because it's not rosy out there. It's not, it's all kind of gloomy. I said, well, you can't be gloomy. That's not the way we are. But when I think about it, you think gas prices are over $4. Jobs are there. The banks aren't lending money to the point where they can. You've got a situation of businesses are struggling with workers' comp, insurance, fuel costs, surcharges, all kinds of things. And then Cook County does certain things, and then the state in Springfield is, you know, they used to say men are from Mars and women are from Venus, and Springfield is from, I guess, Pluto. I have no idea where they're from. The ideas that they come up down there are just scary. And it affects each and every one of us here in some way. You know, when I've talked to representatives from G&W who are moving part of their facility, but the best part is staying here. The good people are going to stay right here and make things work. And then I've talked to Modern Drop Forge about the opportunities that they're presented. And just so you have an idea, when I talked to Greg Heim, and Greg Heim's family's been here for 96 years, Modern Drop Forge. But he said, Don, I'm looking at numbers. I have to look at numbers as a businessman. And I can go to Indiana and I save almost $400,000 on my insurance premium. And that's the problem. And I know Dave Seaman here, he's a trustee out in Tinley, and our trustees and our aldermen and myself. And for the two groups I sit on, the Southwest Conference and both the South Suburban Mayors Managers, there's 72 mayors right there that are trying to tell Springfield, get things changed. This is not rocket science here. We have an ability here to make change. And I think what's going to happen in the very near future, and it's going to happen right away, I think, because the mayors and all the cities are taking the lead. They want to change the distribution of monies from the state and not give it back to the cities and keep it for the state. Well, that'll bankrupt almost every town involved. So you're going to see now where we in the past has always been kind of passive about dealing with our state senators and our state reps, because we would get X number of dollars for sidewalks, or we'd get this street project. You know what we're doing now? We're saying, put a hold on all that stuff. Give us what we're entitled to. Right now, the city of Blue Island is owed $500,000 from income tax funding that they've been holding for 4 months. And every town, every municipality, every agency is in the same fix. We need to change that. And that means that we have to become more active in what we do. And in order to do that, we're going to come out to the residents and the businesses and try to really develop a pro forma of saying, Springfield, you can no longer do what you've done in the past. You can't tell us, we're not going to do it now, we're going to wait till 2 years till another election. Because every 2 years there's an election. This is not rocket science. It's very simple funding. We don't have the money. Tell the mayors, we can't give you money for sidewalks until we get our house straightened up. We can live with that. We can deal with it locally. Give more controls to the local government who can actually benefit the businesses they're helping. And you know, when I thought of all the things that we're talking about, the high gas prices, and we're talking about workers' comp, and we're talking all about that, and there's some things that cities can't do. But cities can really impact what you do in regards to how well we work with you to find new revenues or new sources or new opportunities. And that's what we have to do. Every community in this region has to reach out to the new opportunities that are presented to us. We cannot live by what was done in the past, what manufacturers did in the past, what was done in regards to small businesses. We have to come up with new ideas, new programs, and change what our philosophy has been. Because the only thing that's going to be constant in the near future is change. And change is only beneficial is if we all work together. We are going to have to take a step out and reach to the people the business community and the residents, and find out how best we can do that. A big part of that is how do we reach out in the information technologies segment. I was talking to a representative from Unicom here. The opportunities that are presented to us to influence the technology and to retrain people who may not have had the technology to do jobs but can do it now. You've got Moraine Valley taking over the second floor of the whole building. They actually bought the building on Western Avenue and are opening up more classrooms. You're going to have 1,000 students a day coming up to that area to be retrained in new jobs. What's pertinent for us is to find those type of new jobs. I had a meeting with the railroad yesterday, the CSX. They're in the process of expanding some of their intermodal facilities in the area, some of their offload facilities. They are going to start to work with local municipalities to develop old industrial sites into reload and offloads. So now we have to retrain people in logistics and security, in repackaging and transportation modes. We need to do more with the short hauls. Instead of having these trucks drive all the way from Center Point and Joliet, all the way into Chicago to deliver products, we need to have those little short rail yards. The old Rock Island yard needs to be utilized so that the trucks aren't driving 35 miles, but only driving 5 miles in the area to reduce our carbon output, our fuel cost. We need to develop new technologies that take our human solid waste from municipal government and transform it into a biological methane that can be used for biodiesel that can create a fuel cost for many of our trucks at a reduced cost and not depend on foreign oil to do that. We need to create new industries in solar. We need to create new industries in wind technology. These are opportunities that are presented to small towns like us with the cost of fuel, with the cost of transportation, with the cost of housing. We need to market ourselves to people who want to come back into these areas and be able to walk to the train station, walk to the park, walk to the downtown area, walk to local businesses. We need to go into Chicago, into neighborhoods that are thriving, and find small businesses who want to expand and bring those small little businesses out here to our community to develop our Western Avenue. We need to show that Metro South, who's taken a step in being a for-profit about expanding the services they're offering. They've set up satellite clinics in different neighborhoods, Midlothian, Posen, Morgan Park, Englewood. I can't remember seeing where else. They're all over. I think it's 7 or 8, right? Yes, and they're hiring new doctors. They're going from a new, you got Pronger Smith. They said, we have to utilize that and what they bring to our community to develop that network of marketing on our Western Avenue. One of the things we're going to do with the TIF district that we set up by the hospital, I don't know if you've seen it yet recently, we just started relining Union Street from Maple all the way down to Irving. That should be done by May 15th. On May 15th, Union Street will be starting to tore up. By the 1st of July, that whole street should be brand new. And then we're going to move on to Western Avenue, and that block of parking basically between High and Union Street, we're going to do a whole kind of decorative landscaping on that to give a physical image to our community. And tie that in with the fact that we've got some different people coming in for different programs on Western Avenue to help us develop it. I see Mr. Goretto from Beggar's Pizza. Look what he did on 127th, what that corner was, and what it looks like now. That's what we need to do. We need to strive and work with our businesses to bring up a new image of our town. Our image of Blue Island has always been, it's a south suburb, it's an old industrial town. It depends on who you talk to. It's either all African American, it's all Hispanic, it's diverse. It's what the future of our country is going to be if it's going to survive. We have the housing stock, diverse housing stock. We have the opportunities for jobs. We have the opportunity for transportation. We have the ability, if we all work together, to set the bar much higher than we think. It's not a time when we can say, well, we're going to get to this and stop. It's a time when we say we get here and we keep going.